The first measurement of three-dimensional shapes that we're going to look at is surface area. Surface area is just the total area of all of the faces of the polyhedron. You could think of it as if you were to wrap the polyhedron in wrapping paper so that there's no overlap. It would be the area of the amount of wrapping paper that it would require to cover the polyhedron with no overlap. For calculations, you're really just finding the area of each of the faces, each of the polygons, and adding all of those up. For a right prism, since the top and the bottom bases are the same, just find the area of one and you can double it. And then, since all of these sides are rectangles, you can find the area of each rectangle, or of each rectangle, and add them up. Or a little bit easier is actually just to find the perimeter of the base times the height of the prism, because that would just be wrapping it all the way around as well. Cylinder works the exact same way. You have the two circles, the top and the bottom, and then one giant rectangle that wraps around it. So you have the two bases plus the circumference, that's what we call perimeter of a circle, times the height. And when you plug in pi and the radius for each of the area and circumference, the formula looks like that. For pyramids, you only have the one base, so the area of the base plus, since they're all triangles, it's going to be the 1/2 is involved. It's 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height, because the slant height would be the height of each of the triangles that's a face. A cone is basically just a circular pyramid, so the same formula applies. Area of the base plus 1/2 the circumference, which is the perimeter, times the slant height again. And then you substitute pi and the radius, there's the formula. And for a sphere, the surface area is just 4 pi r squared. So our first example will be this rectangular prism, this box. Find the surface area. So we have the two bases, which are rectangles that are 8 by 5, so the area of the base is 8 times 5. Which is 40. There are two of those. So our surface area, using the formula, would be 2 times the area of the base, 2 times 40, plus the perimeter times the height. Perimeter is going to be 8 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5, so that's 16 plus 10, 26, times the height is 4. So 2 times 40 is 80, 26 times 4 is 104. So the total surface area is 184 centimeters, and it's just surface area, so area is squared. For our next example, we'll find the surface area of the regular triangular pyramid. All the sides are 6. The slant height is 8. We do need to find the area of the base. And to do so, we can actually apply what we learned about in the previous lesson. Because we need the height of that regular triangle. Since it's regular, all the angles are the same, which have to be 60. So we get a 30, 60, 90 with side length of 6. This half would be 3, so the height would be 3 square root of 3. So the area of the base is going to be 9 square root of 3. And it's plus the 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. So since all the sides are 6, the perimeter is 18, and the slant height is given as 8. So we have 9 square root of 3 plus 72. And if you use your calculator to get the approximation and add it together, you get 87.59. And that would be centimeters squared since it's just surface area. Next, we'll look at the cylinder. We're given the height is 7 centimeters and the diameter of the base is 12, so we'll use radius is 6. So its surface area is 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter or circumference times height. So the area of the base is pi r squared since it's a circle. Radius squared, so 6 squared is 36. Plus the circumference, which is pi times diameter, so 12 pi, times the height, which is 7. So you get 72 pi plus 84 pi, which is 156 pi. And if you multiply that out, you get 489.84. And that's using 3.14 for pi. And that would be centimeters squared. And for our last example, we're going to look at a cone for which the surface area will be the area of the base plus the circumference times slant height times a half. So if the radius is 6, that means the area of the base would be 6 squared times pi, or 36 pi. Circumference would be pi times diameter, so pi times 12. And we are not given the slant height. We have to find it, but we can solve it by finding the hypotenuse by using the Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals slant height squared. That's 36 plus 64, which is 100. So that means the slant height is 10. So our total surface area will be 36 pi for the base plus 60 pi for the lateral part of the cone. Add that together, you get 96 pi, which means our total surface area is 96 times 3.14 is 301.44 centimeters squared.